Total havoc continues to break loose across the country as Donald Trump sends his ICE, Gestapo, and his Border Patrol agents in militarized gear to invade cities across the United States. We have what's called Operation Midway Blitz in Chicago. There's Operation Charlotte's Web is what they're calling it in Charlotte and Mecklenburg County. We've seen it here where I live in Los Angeles. We saw it in Portland, and they're bringing this to cities across the United States with these out of control ICE agents attacking people, whether they're citizens or migrants. It really doesn't matter. In the streets, they're just taking out their weapons and pointing it at people. They're roaming through communities to terrorize people in peaceful communities. It's awful what is happening. I mentioned those cities, but I should also mention St. Paul, Minnesota, where we saw ICE physically assault peaceful protesters just the other day, shooting pepper spray directly at their faces from point blank range. And we've seen the tactic of the Trump regime using chemical warfare against people in various cities. And they just go right up to people who are doing like nothing other than peacefully protesting, and then just start pepper spraying them in their face. Here, play this clip. Then we go to Charlotte, North Carolina. You'll see this with ICE agents pointing AR-15s directly at a U.S. citizen's head through a car window. They smashed the glass with the butt of the assault rifle. Her husband couldn't even find where she was detained because they kidnapped her. I'm just showing this as an exemplar, but they're doing this to like lots of people. Like if you even speak out against them, they just treat you like this. Here, play this clip.
We're getting our hands on some dramatic new video showing the moment Border Patrol agents arrested 2 American citizens here in Charlotte.
He's breaking the window. He's got an assault rifle pointed at her.
Oh my God.
Put the windows down. Put the windows down.
Can you hear them yelling, put the windows down?
I can't.
He's smashing a window.
They just rip people out of their cars. I'll bring you to Oak Park, suburb of Detroit, Michigan, right here, where ICE just tases a woman they already detained in zip ties. So they zip tie her, then they tase her, then they throw her non-responsive body into a truck like a rag doll. There are children in this area. It's near restaurants and schools, and this is what happened. Let's play it.
Oh my God, this man just like tased this woman. Border Patrol. Damn, that's fucked up.
You know, when people are coming out in communities like we see in Charlotte, North Carolina, as ICE agents were chasing a flower shop owner into the woods, then the community ran to help the flower shop owner. Here, let's watch this. Next, I'll show you kind of near where I live in Temecula, California, where an off-duty ICE agent detained a teenage U.S. citizen at gunpoint, holds him hostage, demanding to see his papers. And you'll just see, it's like an off-duty ICE agent. He's just standing there in the street, waving a gun around. And when the 17-year-old's driving his car, he just points the gun at him. Like, I don't know how to describe it, like as though it was, and it's a bad example, like a Grand Theft Auto thing. Like, I don't even know what I'm watching, like the video game, but it's real life and people are being tortured. Here, play this clip.
He is a federal agent, as they believe. They say it is a whole other level of terror.
Stop. Slow down. Slow down. Stop.
Caught on Ring camera, watches a man pointing what looks like a gun and yelling at a passing pickup, stops the driver and orders him to get out at gunpoint, claiming to be a police officer.
And that was an ICE. And what is going on here? Let's take you to Illinois right here, where ICE and Border Patrol agents tased a man while zip-tied in his vehicle. The same tactics we saw in that other video. Play this clip.
Step back.
Stop tasing
Step
him.
back. He's not getting tased. He is not getting tased. You step back.
Fuck you.
Step back.
You can literally hear the taser and you can see the taser in there. And then I want to bring you to what ICE has been doing in Catholic churches and places of worship. For example, here, ICE set up their raid outside a Catholic church as the priest was giving a special warning during Mass, and they targeted the church in Illinois. Here, play this clip.
In Rogers Park, the presence of federal agents outside of a local church brought out many in the community determined to keep parishioners safe. It was just after 8:30 this morning when Julie looked out her Rogers Park window to see this. Immigration enforcement agents interrogating a man stopped right in front of St. Jerome Catholic Church.
I think they've been casing the church. I mean, the mass times are down.
And then I want to show you this right here. As you've seen this clip before, I'm sure, the clergy that's showing up at the Broadview facility in Illinois are getting like pepper sprayed and shot out with non-lethal rounds, which are very painful, by the way, even though it's called non-lethal, outside of the Broadview facility by Chicago, Illinois. Here, play this clip. Now, last week, a coalition of faith leaders held a demonstration in front of the Broadview Detention Center asking DHS to allow them to provide spiritual care to detainees, and they were denied. DHS similarly told a group of Catholic leaders that they cannot deliver communion to people inside, drawing condemnation from the Pope himself. I want to bring in Reverend Ciera Bates-Chamberlain, who is leading the faith-based charge in support of Chicago's immigrant community. Reverend, a lot of disturbing images that I'm showing you right there, and I'm showing our audience right there, but you're living this in Chicago. You're seeing this, the group that you're the executive director of Live Free Illinois, trying to help people dealing with this. So what are you seeing, Reverend?
It has been extremely chaotic since ICE and was announced that they were coming in, and Trump sent in the Midway Blitz. Families, communities have been completely disrupted, and a lot of people have just been terrified. Once ICE came in on their rampage, you literally had mass agents kidnapping people off the streets. You felt like you were in a horror movie, but this was a real occurrence happening in the United States in 2025. So it has been completely chaotic.
Let's talk about what the clergy is doing. Naturally, people who are facing these terroristic attacks, turning to faith leaders, community leaders like yourself and others. But then it seems that ICE is trying to break apart that support network and go after the clergy, go after the faith leaders. And they're doing it in a pretty brazen way. I mean, I showed the clip of quite literally shooting a priest in the head outside, but there's a broader intimidation campaign going on, it seems, against faith leaders. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, so I would say first, many faith leaders have been activated in fighting since, again, ICE hit the ground and hit communities. Faith leaders have been organizing through rapid response networks. They've partnered with groups like ICER. They've partnered with faith leaders like Matt DiMatteo. They have been working in a really close network. Now, there's also a group of faith leaders who have been consistently, and really they're faith leaders who have been at the Broadview Detention Center for years advocating for that detention center to be closed. But now with the increased activity, there have been faith leaders who have been advocating now to make sure that the people who are detained are treated humanely. And we know that people are not being put in humane conditions. Even if you look at the detention center at Broadview, it's boarded up. So people are literally living in what it appears to be an abandoned building. So faith leaders have been on the front lines advocating and fighting so that people can be treated like humans in the United States. So again, while it's a beautiful thing to see a coalition of multi-faith leaders on the front lines in communities, Black, Brown, Asian, Indigenous, Muslim, Jewish, all on the front lines fighting for people. Again, it's a terrible thing to see that this is what this administration is unleashing on people in the United States in 2025.
Right. Our audience spans the gambit of different religions. Some don't associate with any religion. So some are atheists, some are Catholic, Christian, Jewish, Muslim, Hindu, you name it, Muslim. At the end of the day, though, what we talk about on this network is, and I don't think this gets enough attention in the news and the media as they cover politics like a horse race, though, is maybe it's that coverage that kind of got us. That is one of the factors that got us here. Maybe we should take a step back and just focus on the morality and the decency and the humanity of it all. The statement that you just said stood out to me, that here in the United States, what you're fighting for is, can we treat human beings humans in the United States? And currently, under this Trump regime, there is a dehumanization, and human beings are being treated in your community and throughout as having no worth or no value. And that should be abhorrent with any value and principle set that people have. Like I think more needs to just be talked about. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what? Like, this is wrong. This is evil.
You know, as you were playing the clips in Carolina, I was reminded of the history of the slave catchers. The slave catchers began in Carolina. And it didn't matter. Later on, the laws expanded to where even in free states, the federal law enabled slave catchers to go into free states and hunt people. And that just reminded me, this is what it feels like. You feel like you have modern day, not what it feels like, that is what this is. These are modern day slave catchers who are empowered to go in communities. Illinois is a sanctuary space. The governor is not calling for people to be kidnapped off the streets. In fact, the governor has asked that they stay out of Illinois. However, they are empowering people to kidnap people out of spaces that are deemed sanctuary. So this is beyond inhumane. And again, it's hard for folks to wrap their mind around the fact that we're in this place, which shows that this is beyond an immigration tactic. This is literally this administration's play on trying to break down democracy as we know it.
Yeah, and break down people's spirits, break down people's desire to resist, and thereby breaking down their desire to vote. And this is what we see, in authoritarian regimes. So, but we do see, and we should leave on this note, incredible resilience that I think the regime didn't expect from the people of Chicago, from the people of Charlotte to Los Angeles to cities and towns across the United States, where people have united in interesting ways, rallying around clergy and faith leaders, rallying in frog costumes in Portland, holding dance parties and joyous events when the regime is trying to make people feel horrible. So speak to that before we go, because it does seem that while this is certainly impacting people's lives and people are scared, there's something surfacing amongst the people that I think this regime didn't expect, a real people power.
Yeah, and I mean, I like to brag. I'm from the South Side of Chicago, and whether you're from the South Side, the West Side, if we have a different grit about us, and so one thing that I would say it was a very proud moment to see the way Chicago stood up, to see the way the Chicago land stood up. One of the things that we did, we formed the Faith Over Fear Coalition, and that was faith communities, again, from across the board, that was saying that our faith is stronger than every fear tactic that this administration is trying to do. They tried to scare us, they tried to hush us, silence us, but we said that we would not be silent. We're standing up and we're fighting back. So this is why we were intentional about making sure that as many of our people and friends across this country could see that we were not afraid of the terror that this administration was trying to put on our people, and we fought back. And we fought back powerfully in coalition. So I think that's the strongest thing that anybody across this country can do when resisting this administration. We have to show them that our faith is more powerful than any fear that they can try to instill in the people, and we will not back down. And we're fighting for our people and fighting for our country.
Reverend Ciera Bates-Chamberlain, Executive Director of Live Free Illinois. We appreciate you. Thanks for everything you're doing.
Thank you.
Everybody hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.